everybody. As you can probably tell, I am on a bike. I'm currently cycling to the spot because I left a bit later than I wanted. I was clearing the drains at the house, so that was quite unpleasant, but nothing like being covered in feces on a Sunday morning. But anyway, as you can tell from the title of this video, I am camping in a terrible tent from eBay. But anyway, that's enough chatting, let's get to the spot. Okay, I'm near my spot, well somewhere near my spot. As you can see, I'm off the bike for now. And if you're wondering why, that is why. And I'm not on my normal bike. I'm on this thing, this rusty old bike that's older than I am. It's actually the bike I used in my very first video. So as is quite frequently the way in these recent videos of mine, this spot isn't going to work. Now, I've actually used this spot before, or a spot near it, for another video. But as this was a video just to try out a terrible tent off eBay, I thought, oh, I'll go back to that area. It wouldn't really matter a whole lot. But it has been cordoned off and there are farm animals in it. So that ain't going to work. I've left the bike behind me there. I'm just going to have a quick look to see where I could go. Okay, I've come all the way around the other side of the industrial park and I found this broken fence which leads pretty much into one of the fields that are adjacent to the field I was trying to get to. You can tell animals have actually escaped from here, so that makes me think the landowner isn't going to want to use this area, so I think I might just push ahead. Nothing more stealthy than a guy traipsing across a field in a bright fleece with a bicycle. Although this ground is so churned up, I'm thinking this might actually be an absolutely god-awful spot. Yeah, I'm like sinking in this mud. Okay, all is not lost. We have found a spot. So, if I show you guys. So, where this little cone is the road I come in. There's a little bit of fence that's above that, and I've basically gone all the way around, all the way over here to then come back round again, down here, chuck the bike there, and I'm gonna just step my tent in this corner. So, probably not the most amazing placement to try a new tent. In fact, this is a god-awful place, but it's about 4:15. The sun's gonna start setting in about an hour and a half, so I just wanna set myself up and just get going, you know what I mean? Jesus. Oh, the amount of mud on me is obscene. Okay. Upon feeling this more, I'm wondering why I'm putting myself through this. But as you've seen from the title, this is the cheapest tent I could find on eBay. This thing was 12 quid. Well, I think it was like 12, but it was £12 and change, but it is every bit 12 quid. Like, it's so light, the whole thing is so squishy. Like, this is a two-man tent in here. Like, I cannot get across how shit this thing feels. It's from a brand called Tom Shoe. You know that one? Yeah, it's hydrostatic head. I find it hard to say. It's 1000. So this thing ain't one bit waterproof. And I only thought the tent in my last video was bad. This thing's 50% worse technically. But yeah, let's see what this is like. Oh dear. Oh dear. hell's this? Oh, there is pegs. I was trying to feel the package and I could not feel pegs at all. These pegs are a joke. Look at these pegs. What is this? I know none of my tents are amazing, but I certainly have thicker pegs than this. I always bring spare pegs with me, but we'll use these, you know, because that's part of the challenge, isn't it? That's pathetic. They are actually pathetic. Okay, so there's the terrible pegs. Oh, that's the wee waterproof bit for the vent. Look how thin that is. I can see through that. Oh dear. The only good thing about it is I guess it's stealthy colours. Oh wow. Even the poles, like I have cheap tents, but wowee. These are crap, man. Wow. These are next level bad. Oh, I am gonna die in this thing. Okay, so there's somebody just walking their dog and they've just kind of stopped, like directly in front of me. Okay, this is really awkward. They haven't seen me yet, but I don't really want to move. Ah dear. Essentially I've got a tiny bush and the tripod that the camera is on for cover right now. Christ's sake. Okay, she's definitely gonna look at me. I'm gonna move this tripod around as if I'm some sort of professional photographer. Oh, there's a dog coming, I don't believe it. This is really awkward. Why? Oh, the dog's looking at me, oh for fuck's sake. This is so awkward, oh my god. If you look at the cone, to the right hand side of the cone there's kind of a bush next to a lamppost. She's pretty much there. The dog is straight at that fence. I'm hoping she doesn't walk any further forward because it's a dead end. But I'm gonna act like I'm doing some sort of photography. Please don't turn around this way. Okay. Well, there's the dog. The dog keeps, it's probably hard to tell, but the dog is literally looking at me with his ears pricked up. She hasn't actually looked this way. Oh, my luck might be in. My luck might be in. This is what I was talking about this spot. Oh, turn around the other way. Keep walking the other way. Oh, now the dog's barking. Hope no one else is coming. Okay, she's walking the other way now. We might have just got away with that. I realise if this lady sees me, she probably won't care what I'm doing. But I'd much rather she didn't see me. Okay, finally she's gone. She was taking the absolute piss. Like she just stood, moved, stood, moved, stood, moved, stood, moved. Like since you first saw her, 15 minutes have gone by. Like what is going on? Anyway, it kind of has that childish camo pattern. Do you know what I mean? But like, I generally don't think even the bottom of this thing's waterproof. Like, look at the bottom of this. Look at that. You can tell that's coming through the bottom of the tent. So, I might even be wet on the ground. Great. Holy Jesus. Hang on, let's put this over this way slightly. Okay, guess I'm near the train track. I will always be the first person to champion a wee cheap piece of equipment, but I don't know about this, like, I really don't. I really, really don't. Oh dear. Okay, that was suspiciously easy to do. Oh, okay, I actually thought that was going to be a lot more difficult. Okay. Let's just tie this on. Okay, there she is, the finished product. Now, this thing clearly isn't going to be particularly waterproof, and the sky ain't looking too good, so I'm hoping that passes by without any issues. But anyway, let's show you the finer features of this £12 masterpiece. First problem I've noticed is I sat inside for the thumbnail and the moisture's come through. So my ground sheet, it's completely useless. The ground sheet is actually the same thickness as the tent, so there is no ground sheet. I naively thought all tents came with a proper ground sheet, but I guess they don't. Well, at least not at this price point. Inside, it seems pretty spacious, to be fair. I think I could nearly lie end to end. And then we've got a little vent up there for insulation. Insulation? I mean ventilation. And then I've got vented bit here, and then these doors which don't have a zip at the bottom, which I suppose I don't really need it, but yeah. And then these doors which don't zip at the bottom, but this bit does. I'm definitely not going to close these doors tonight because the condensation in this thing will be a killer, I'm sure. The terrible little pegs actually done a decent job, but then the ground is very soft. Yeah, and that's the back of it. It does at least somewhat blend in with its environment. But yeah, we'll see how the night progresses. Luckily, I brought a small tarp with me. I thought I'd bring it just in case it does rain heavily and I can throw it over the top. But I'm actually going to have to put that inside to sit on because I can't sit in that tent without my ass getting wet. So that'll be interesting. How does it look from here? Oh, Jesus, holy Christ. Anyway, just my bi-weekly trip. Let's see, how are we looking? I mean, my bag sticks out, but I mean, to be fair, ignore the white things, that's rubbish. My bag won't be there. My bike is kind of hidden behind that bush. That isn't terrible. It's probably one of my more stealthier tents. So I was about to get myself set up and then this car just randomly pulls in. I don't know why a car would need to drive down there. There's literally nothing to see. Like, oh, wait, what? Wait, there's a dog chasing this car. Is this guy walking his dog by driving his car up and down and then the dog chases it? That is horrendous. I mean, maybe there's a good reason as to why they're doing that. Maybe they're not able enough, but what the hell? Either that or that's the farmer and that's like a shit car. Do you know what I mean? What's that word farmers use for cars that are just clunkers that they use around the farm? I really hope it's not the landowner because this is going to be very awkward. I'm just going to hide behind the tent and see what happens. I am glad I got this set up when I did because at least it's something I can hide behind and it kind of blends in. And I can just see the car through the little gap between the rain cover and the tent. So I'm out of view In an ideal world, I'd have liked to have got my bag out the way, but I don't really want to risk reaching for it right now. So I'm just going to sit here, crouch down, like a wuss. Anyway, while I'm here, I might as well thank everybody for subscribing to me recently. I am so close to 1,000, which inside the first year I did not expect. So thanks everyone that subscribed, and thank you if you're about to subscribe. But yeah, yeah, it's been wild. I put up my first video, well, at least I recorded my first video the first week of April, I think. We're nearly in March. It's the last week of February now. So yeah, nearly a year. I can't believe how quick it's gone. Didn't get as many videos out as I wanted, but sure, what can you do? But yeah, we're gonna wait for this car to go, and then I'm gonna put a tarp down inside this thing, because I clearly can't lie down inside that without getting wet. And then we'll maybe eventually get ourselves set up, if these people ever bloody leave. I always bring this thing with me, and the amount of times I've needed it is obscene. Right. Oh. That's actually worked out quite well. Made for it. Look at that. Slightly long that side, but all good. Okay, there's a slight divot where I'm lying, but it's not bad enough that I'll bother moving. Yeah, I wonder, will I fit in this thing if I lie flat? Oh. No. I'm gonna have to lie corner to corner, I think. Don't know what it is about tents and never making them long enough. As I always say, I'm only 6'2". I'm not 7'2". I don't think a tent. I think a tent should universally be able to fit someone who is my height. But anyway, now we're in here, it lets in a lot of light, so that's good. It's a feature. It's very thin. I can actually see, look at the seams. I don't know if that's going to focus on that or not. Look at that. Like, that is just going to let water in straight away. Even there, like, I can see outside through that bit. Oh dear. We really do not want any rain at all, or I'm screwed, because I don't have any other tarps with me. I just have this one, and I need this one on the ground. So yeah, so if it rains I am buggered, absolutely buggered. But let's hope it doesn't come to that. Right, let's get the rest of this stuff set up, and then we can have some dinner, I guess, because I'm getting hungry. What time is it? It's 5 o'clock now, so it's going to be dark in about an hour, maybe. Getting dark. I think sun sets at about 5:30. But yeah, let's see. Okay, get some of this crap set up. I'm gonna try something I haven't done yet. I'm gonna put my air mat inside my sleeping bag, because I was watching Steve, obviously Camping with Steve, the guy we all watch, let's be honest, that's one thing we all have in common, everyone watches Steve. And in his latest video he said he put his air mat in his sleeping bag, and I was like, I toss and turn a lot, I might try that. So that's what I'm going to do. I probably should have packed this a bit better, but here we are. I'm not sure how well it'll work out, but nothing to lose, have we? Oh, sweet nectar. That's my favourite part of every video. Blowing up this godforsaken air mat. Okay, I've actually got the air mat inside the sleeping bag. It was a bit of a fight, but we got there. My only thing is, surely if I'm lying on the air mat itself, it's kind of cold. I've got this other sleeping bag, so I could always like lie that inside it and then sleep on that. I'm kind of one of these sleepers that tosses and turns a lot. It doesn't really bode well when you're trying to camp, because obviously a sleeping bag's very restricting, and I'm just like, blah. I've just got this nice sunset, which isn't showing up on camera as good as it looks in real life, but there we are. Oh my god! Ah, fuck's sake. Okay, clearly the ground is a bit too soft for my child size tripod still. Fuck's sake. There's no point keeping that out, is there? Ugh. Well, this is nice. Got a great view. The temperature's not too cold. The sun is setting. There's a nice glow on my skin from said sun, so I don't look like I'm an anemic corpse. But yeah, so I have to sit here because my bloody stool's no good. Okay, so dinner options. Well, I say options. I've got one thing. Keeping it simple. I've no gas stove this time, because it ran out in the last video if you've watched it, and I forgot to get another one. I remembered too late and it wasn't going to arrive in time, so I have this little thing that has seen the light of day I think in one other video. Just one of those simple little fuel pellet stoves, and I've also got waterproof matches and a matchbox in there. You know how it works, just pop the things in there, put the stove on top, easy. Or pot on top, should I say. So that is, I've got, how many do I have? I've got 12 fuel pellets. Each pellet burns for 9 minutes, and one pellet, or 2 pellets I think is enough to boil like 300 mils of water in calm conditions, which is what we have. So that'd be easy. So with my predicament with the stove, I just thought I'd keep dinner really simple. So I got big soup, steak and potato soup out of a tin, very prepper. And then I got some posh bread, caramelized onion, is it Buell? Caramelized onion Buell? It's the big circle loaf. I'm not sure how you say that, and I'm not going to embarrass myself by trying again. But yeah, caramelized onion bread, it smells absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to have my soup, just rip chunks of bread off like a caveman and dip it in. And then I've also got some, train. I'm not sure if that's as loud on camera as it is in real life, but it's pretty loud. And I've got some potato pickled onion because I'm in Northern Ireland. And then I got some little Lindor Easter egg thingies, and that's about it. Still have my first aid kit, you'd be pleased to know. Haven't needed it yet, thank Christ. And I think that's it, really. Yeah, nothing else to show you. Nothing else to report until this tent lets me down. I subtly burped there, did you notice? Anyway, yeah, I'm going to relax for a little bit more and then we'll get some soup on the go. That light be fading quick. Right. I actually have a packet of waterproof matches in here. I have literally no idea why or where I got them from. Actually, tell a lie, they are from that they're from that ration pack I had. It's going back a while now. I've done a video where I camped in a kid's play tent, and that would be that. Let's go 3, and then we can judge how that goes from that. Now before I have to rely on matches, let's just see if this works. Oh, hang on. She's off. One is burning. Just need to catch on to the other ones. Okay, we are going. Lovely. That's quite impressive actually. I didn't expect that to throw out quite so much heat quite so quickly. Oh, I spilt some down the side. Fantastic. Holy shit. There we go. This thing's rapid. Okay, so this is Heinz steak and potato soup. Ah, that'd be hot. I feel like the spoon is about to break, but yeah, it's okay. It's soup from a tin, so it can only be so good. In hindsight, I should have got a fresh one, but oh well. But the main thing is this, because carbs are life. Look at that, lovely. Caramelized onion bread. Oh, there's like poppy seeds all over it. Look at this. What more do you want? I'm sitting here. At one point I thought this camp was a disaster, that it wasn't going to work, and contemplated going home. And now here I am with a nice sunset in a decent spot with fuel pellets that are so good. I've boiled soup and water. I've got all the carbs I could possibly want. It's not that cold. Life is pretty good at this moment in time. Unless it rains, then I'm screwed. Another thing I meant to say is this tent's from eBay, but it's not a used tent. It's from an eBay seller. In case you thought this was like a second-hand tent, like this is just, I literally went onto eBay and typed in cheap tents, and this thing was like the 4th result. And it's one of those ads on eBay that has like the really poorly photoshopped picture of the tent on it. You know, it's at the beach, but the tent is just like pushed, like just placed on top of the image. Absolutely awful. But yeah. So if you like people being in absolutely god-awful tents, I also have a video, I think it's the second video I done, where I camp in the cheapest tent I found on Amazon. It was kind of like this one, but bright orange, but it had a decent ground sheet. This tent kind of feels like a beach tent. You know, like the tents you have, like a sun. Oh, that's Nicola ringing me. 1 second. Hello again. What was I saying? Well, what the hell was I saying? Hang on till I have a look. Oh yeah, it's like a beach tent. You know, the ones you just like jump in to get changed in? It's pretty much like that. But on a dry day, it might be fine, but it remains to be seen. So I'm gonna go for one quick jaunt around before it gets too dark. But one thing that made me laugh was this. I was looking at the tent, and I noticed this blue light. So this is my GoPro charger. So I've used one of the GoPro batteries, and I've got a couple of unofficial GoPro batteries, so they don't last too long. I do one time lapse and they're done. So I've always got one charging. And look how thin the tent is. Like, you can see the light through that. And I know light bleeds through a tent a little bit, but not that much. That's ridiculous. Actually looks slightly worse on camera than it does. But like, I wonder if we can see that from this side. You can't see it from that side, so it's not all bad. But yeah, so that's interesting. Another thing this tent doesn't have is a hook to put your lamp on, which is such a small thing, but it's also a big thing, isn't it? It's kind of annoying. But yeah, so I'm just going to take a walk out to the road here, just to see where this lady was before, and give you an idea of how close I am to that road, and what she would have seen of me. So here we are at the road. Yeah, not much to see. So the lady was like randomly standing around here, but if I stand here, so basically you'll see something kind of white, and that is actually the bush next to the tent. And then this very helpfully placed cone directly above that, actually hang on, directly above it from this angle is where the tent was. Oh, there's another train going by. That's got to scare the hell out of me at night, isn't it? What am I talking about? We're in Northern Ireland, we don't have trains at night. But yeah, it's actually coming up slightly brighter on camera, but I physically from here cannot see the tent, so that's good. Quite well camouflaged. I think even during the day I was quite hard to spot. The only other thing is it's not going to be a completely dark night because of these street lights. And then the warehouse that's kind of beside where I am has a lot of light jutting out onto their what's that called? I want to call it a courtyard. It's not a courtyard. What am I talking about? Their outside work area. What is the bloody word I'm trying to say? Oh, whatever. Anyway, their land with all their stuff on it. I physically cannot think of the word. It's not forecourt either, because that's like a petrol station. Oh my god. Yard. Their yard. Holy Christ. I don't know why that was so hard for me to remember. But yes, there's lots of light coming from their yard. Which isn't hitting the tent directly, but it's still there. So yeah, so there we are. There's my spot. Even from here, it's kind of hard to see. I think the like random pieces of material that are here, like these are old sacks or something that have blown probably from this place, kind of catch your eye because they're quite obvious. But the tent, I mean, even from here, I mean, you can clearly see the tent, but it's not super obvious. You know, it's there just in case you can't see it. The problem is when I put a light on, it's probably going to light up like a Christmas tree. It is about 7:30. It's a nice clear night again. I'm not sure how well that's going to show up. Probably not well at all, but you can definitely see at least that one very bright star. But yeah, it's been quite quiet. There's a few people who've been walking past with their dogs. The lights from this place are very annoying. But oh well. Then it's not flashing, it's just me moving very slightly. And it does kind of half illuminate the tent. Well, you can't see it from here. Relatively quiet. I'm going to make some coffee soon. Yeah. Hopefully the time lapse is good tonight. Everything's kind of weirdly backlit by the light behind me, so I'm not sure how it'll turn out, but we'll see. The other thing I'm going to do, I'm not sure if I mentioned it yet, but I've tied this side of the door because I want to sleep with this side closed and this side open because I want some ventilation, because I just think this is going to be a condensation nightmare in this thing. So obviously my feet are going to touch this end, so I'd rather this side was closed, but hopefully that should do the trick. But I guess we'll see. Well, hopefully it doesn't rain, because I'm doubly screwed if it rains, because this is open and it's not waterproof, so pray it doesn't rain. Okay, I've got my coffee in my little keep cup. Wow, that is hot. Well, that thing did a great job. A single fuel pellet boiled that water. And that's about 350 millilitres maybe. Thereabouts. That's not bad. So I've got my horrible Nestle latte things, but better than nothing, so I'll not complain. Now you'd think you'd have chocolate with that, wouldn't you? But I've only got one chocolate thing. I'm going to keep it later for a cup of tea, because it's only 8 o'clock now, so I want to be, when I'm really feeling cold, that's when I want my tea and my chocolate. So I'm going to be a disgusting pig and have a coffee with pickled onion crisps. Unsubscribe now. I've lost my way. Obviously you don't really see Tayto in the rest of the UK, but they're kind of synonymous with Northern Irish culture. I mean, when you land in the airport, you'll see Tayto advertising everywhere. It's the first thing they show off. But they are nice crisps though. Oh. I like these ones because they're so flavourful. It makes you kind of go, ugh! But in a good way, in a good way. The tent so far has stayed up, which is about the minimum I would expect. No condensation build up yet, not doing too bad. One thing I do notice, it's definitely warmer in here, but it's not as warm as other tents. Like normally when I sit in a tent and it's cold outside, yes, it's obviously not boiling, but you sit inside the tent and you're kind of like, oh yeah, I'm okay in here. But there is like a chill in the air. Like, I almost feel like I'm in that emergency tent again. Like, this is so thin, you feel like the wind is just coming through it. You know what I mean? But you know, it's okay. It's okay. Dry ground would obviously help this thing a lot. I'm just hoping it doesn't come through. It won't come through the top, it's just the edges I worry about a little bit. But apart from that, not too bad. So, oh, I'm really blurry. Come on, Canon, do your thing. Come on, do your thing. There we go, hello. So I'm gonna just eat my crisps, drink my coffee, watch some more YouTube. Not gonna bore you with that. And I'll catch up with you again a little bit later if anything exciting happens. But I'm sure it will. That must be one of the last trains, surely. It's about 9:30, guys, now. I've got up for another pee. Oh, quite a nice shot of the moon there. But yeah, nothing going on now. I haven't seen anybody for ages, which is nice. But I think it's time for a wee cup of tea. Right, guys. So I have got my Earl Grey tea. Aye, that's hot. Okay, that can stay in there. So, now I've got some of these Lindt chocolate eggs. Jesus Christ, would you keep me in focus, you asshole? I'm not sure why this thing isn't. It's just refusing to keep me in focus here. Okay, anyway. So yeah, I got some of these Lindt eggs. They are absolutely tiny, and my hands are kind of cold, so this is not a good combination because I can't see what I'm doing. They are the little tiny, teeny tiny chocolate eggs. Mmm. You can't beat Lindor chocolate. I feel like Easter eggs are more of a European thing. I feel like that's not really a thing in America. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere. I was actually really looking forward to doing this video. Oh, you're joking. So I got distracted. The condensation build-up in this tent is actually quite severe. Really? How? It's probably hard to see. Hang on. You can kind of see the lines I've created with my hand. I'm not sure if you can see that or not, but there, you can kind of see it in that light. There, you can see that now. Like, this is ventilated at the top. I've had this door open pretty much the entire time, and it's still really condensation-y. I dread to think how much water I'm going to wake up in. I really do. But I'll put all my valuables in one place. I actually left the bag outside. I might bring the bag in and put all my valuables in the bag, and then if the worst does happen, everything's safe. But you know what it could actually be? No, it's everywhere. None of mine. I was going to say maybe it was my hot drink, but it's literally on everything. Oh dear. Well, sure. It is what it is. God, yeah, it is everywhere. That's really bloody annoying. Oh well. But anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, I was really looking forward to this video because I thought, oh, doing a cheap eBay tent would be quite good fun. But not as much fun as I thought, really. Oh well. But stay tuned. I've got plenty more videos coming up. Lots of ideas. My next one, I'm going to spend a night just in an emergency survival bivvy. So I've done the survival tent, now I'm just going to do the bivvy. So that's going to suck, because it's essentially spending the night in a thin sleeping bag. So yeah, no tent, nothing, just out in the elements. I was just setting up the GoPro ready for bedtime, and I was just grabbing my bag, and guys, this is how cold it is. There's actually frost on the bags. So I've left that bag over the bike chain, so my bike chain doesn't freeze. But yeah, guys, and there's actual frost gathering on the bottom of the tent, so it's definitely gonna be a cold one. So I need to get myself inside, but it's a lovely clear night. It's hard to tell on this camera, but yeah. But anyway, let's get into bed because I am freezing already. It's as you saw, things are starting to freeze over. I've got everything in my bag now, and all the valuable stuff's in my GoPro case or on top of the bag. So I really am worried about the condensation here, because it's building up quite a lot, and now with it being freezing outside, it's definitely going to be a lot of condensation when we wake up. So I'm just trying to avoid waking up in a puddle of water. I'm hoping that the moisture goes between the top and the bottom of the tent, but we'll see. Yeah. Oh my god, right. I'm gonna go to bed. As usual, if I see anything or hear anything exciting. Actually, talking of hearing things, I could hear someone playing like a pipe, like a flute, and I was just like, what the hell is that? And like a doo 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 doo. But then the train came and then I couldn't hear it again. But either that or I'm just losing my mind. But who knows? Either's likely at this point. Anyway, so yeah, that being said, guys, I'm gonna see you in the morning. If anything exciting happens, I'll pick up the camera. But other than that, I'll see you in the morning. Hopefully, maybe, who knows? Good morning. I don't know what's so good about it. I have had one of the most awful night's sleep I think I've ever had camping. Like, I actually think when I stayed in that emergency tent I had a better night's sleep.
just awful. This tent is just so thin. It feels like I might as well just be outside. And it is soaking inside. Like, I'll try and show you here. I don't know how well that's going to come up on camera. But there's just water everywhere. You can kind of see that now. That is just all over. Now I get it's single layer, I completely understand that, but this is just a ridiculous amount. It's hard to see with this light, but if you look underneath this tarp, it's just swimming in water. Oh, this tent really is awful. Alright, I'm gonna get up. It's like 6:15, so it's still dark. Sunrise isn't for another 15 minutes. I was just gonna try and lie here, but I really need the toilet, so I'm gonna get up, do a pee, and then I might crawl back into the sleeping bag for another hour, or I might just get up. I don't think I'll be able to sleep anyway, so it's probably a waste of time. Ooh. Just to give you a quick idea as to how bad my sleep was, I got 3 hours 30 minutes, and the red bars is how much I was awake for. So there you go. Bit of a rough one. Just getting some coffee on the go. Starting to brighten up a little bit. I was just reviewing the GoPro footage. Now, it was only really small, obviously because I'm looking at it on a GoPro screen. But I found it odd that the GoPro was on its side, like it had fallen over. And it's on a little tripod that's really steady, so it shouldn't fall. And when I was going through the footage, just before it fell, something ran across the field, but I couldn't see what it was. It looked like a dog, but it clearly wasn't a dog. But unfortunately I won't know until I get on the computer, so I wonder what it was. Okay, it's coming up to 7 o'clock now. Sunrise is in about 20 minutes, so I'm going to drink this coffee and start making my way out of here. But some thoughts on this tent. It is every bit a £12 tent. The ground sheet, well, let's go through it all. Ground sheet sucks. It bleeds light really badly. Tent itself is really thin, so it feels freezing. It's so thin, in fact, that moisture just perforates it even when there's no rain. The pegs absolutely suck. Be fine in completely still weather like I've had, but anything more than a slight breeze and this thing's going. Positives are it was 12 quid and it's incredibly light, and I guess it kind of blends in. Absolutely do not get this tent, it's absolute crap. I'll also admit to say the poles themselves are really flimsy as well. Like, I think because the tent isn't really rigid as well when you build it. You know where you got some tension in a tent when you put the poles in? This thing's quite flappy, so I feel like the only reason the poles didn't snap is because the tent itself is like just generally flimsy. Does that make sense? But yeah, I'm gonna finish my coffee and then get out of here because I am freezing. Yeah, it's definitely time to get out of here. There's a bunch of guys in high-vis have just arrived at this building. This building's quite new and it's obviously not finished yet, so the builders have arrived. It's early shift for those boys at 7 o'clock, but that's definitely my cue to get the hell out of here. Look at the level of moisture in this thing. Like, that is completely soaked through, and that's what I was lying on all night. Lovely, just lovely, just lovely. That tent will never see the light of day again. Right, we're pretty much ready to be out of here. Nothing left behind but a big muddy, mushy space. Come on, you big rusty bastard.
Oh, overshot that. Right guys, well that is gonna do it for this one. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed my very cold night in my horrible eBay tent. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing. I know we all say it, but it really does make a big difference. But yeah, that'll do guys. I'll see you in the next one.